Okay, so we're going to be now moving into the second stage of the hero's journey. We've moved from separation, crossed the threshold, and now we are in initiation. You can expect some blood or some trauma, some tests, some trials, some catastrophe, some chaos. It's all going to happen here. So move to the next video and we will begin. There are two types of deeds in a hero's journey. There are the physical deeds, and then there are the spiritual deeds. The physical deeds are easy. They could be anything from slaying a dragon to a bride trying to find the right wedding dress. Anything can be, any of those are physical deeds. Spiritual deeds are a little harder for students because spiritual deeds, they might be along with a physical deed, but generally something has happened inside the character that has brought them a change, an emotional change, a psychological change, a spiritual change, where they now have a kind of knowledge or clarity that they did not have before. So, for example, Wizard of Oz, Dorothy has lots and lots of physical deeds that she has to go through. But really, the spiritual deed that she has to go through is what? What do you think that might be? It's finding out that there is no place like home and that she always had the power within her own self. So, look for the spiritual deed in your movie as well as all of that action that you're going to see. Okay, so these are stages within initiation. These are the names of some of the tests and trials. And be aware that it doesn't really matter what order they come in. If your movie, if there's a meeting with the goddess in the very first part of the movie, in separation, that's okay. You don't have to follow this exactly. Sacred marriage, that might have come somewhere else. Do your work based on your movie, and it doesn't matter if one of these is in a different order than the other. So don't sweat that. So here is the list, and we're going to go through the first half of this list in this particular PowerPoint. While we're going through this part, you should be reading each of these sections within your handout because that is where the information is developed. So we start with brother battle. Famous brother battle would be in The Lion King, Mufasa and Scar. Now, it's important to remember that brother battles don't always have to be with biological brothers. So, for example, if you've got a combat movie or a military movie, a lot of times the brother would be a fellow soldier. Or a cop movie, it might be a partner. It might even be a sister battle. Think about Heat with Sandra Bullock. The battle could also be physical, and it could be a psychological battle. So I've got a list here of some famous brother battles, and of course you can add to your own list. But one that's coming up right now is the Peyton Manning and his brother Eli Manning. So Peyton is in the Super Bowl. Eli is not. So there's not a physical battle going on between them, but what's the psychological battle? Well, Eli has 2 Super Bowl rings. Peyton only has 1. So this is his chance to get even or get the same amount of Super Bowl rings with his brother. So psychological battle as well as a physical battle going on. Dragon battles, they are oftentimes, like in Sleeping Beauty, a real dragon. But most of the time in movies, the dragon is going to represent your biggest fear. So, for example, if you're in Indiana Jones, okay, he had to fight lots of different things. He had lots of big battles, but there was one thing in particular that he was afraid of. What was it? Snakes. So, of course, during this movie, he had to be dropped into a pit of vipers. And this is where he would have fought his dragon battle in the movie. In movies, there is often an abduction. Now, abduction can be a real abduction, such as in Taken. Okay, Liam Neeson, okay, his daughter is kidnapped and it's going to be sold to the highest bidder. There's an abduction for you. An oldie but goodie, Aliens. The aliens abduct the victims and take over their bodies. Abduction can also be different things, so it doesn't have to be a person has been truly kidnapped. Sometimes you can abduct a person's mind. Sometimes you can take them, like in 12 Years a Slave. There's an abduction. Or what about the new movie about Mary Poppins, which is Saving Mr. Banks? The character or the hero in the movie is afraid that Walt Disney is trying to abduct her story, taking her story from her and changing it. And so abduction can mean lots of different things. Belly of the whale. Oh, you're in it now. And so here's a picture of Jonah and the whale from the 1500s. And then the next picture, of course, is a more famous, or I shouldn't say more famous than the Bible, but a very currently famous belly of the whale, which would be like Finding Nemo, where Marlin, Hass, and Dory have to go into the belly of the whale. The nadir is the lowest point of the hero's journey. So on your graphic, this would be 6 o'clock. It would be the exact bottom of the circle. So at this point, the hero hits their emotional, their physical, their psychological bottom. They might be injured. They might be left for dead, and you think, uh-oh, this is it. They're not going to make it. This is the end. But, of course, in some way, that hero has to get back up and keep going. Sometimes the nadir comes because the hero believes that whatever the call was, that call now has been lost. So perhaps their call was to save someone, and they find out that person that they were going to save has died. Or suppose your call is to go for a part in the school play, and you find out that you did not get that part. That might be the bottom. The question is now, how is the hero going to get back up and keep on that journey? So in action movies like Die Hard, Bruce Willis will generally be laying on the floor. He'll be bloody. He'll be beaten. You think, oh no, not going to get up from this one. But, of course, at some point, the hero begins to rise up. Slowly and raggedly and painfully rise up from the ground. And what is happening in like action movies is the character now, he might have been half dead, really dead, who knows, but now the character has died and there's nothing left to fear. because they've already died once, either psychologically or physically. And now in an action movie, when the character get up, they are pissed. And yeah, they're going to go, all right, this next phase might be suicidal. It might kill me. It probably will kill me. But guess what? You're going down too, bucko. So once the hero is faced his death, he gets up reborn or born again. This is the beginning of the hero's new life. He is no longer that same person that he was 5 minutes ago. So, can a hero die and still complete their hero's journey? Think about it. And the final part of this section of the nadir is, can the hero actually die and still complete their hero's journey? And we have this question answered in many ways. And so think about it. How would you answer it? And then tell me, are there heroes who have actually died and yet still completed their hero's journey? See you in the next video. Bye.